and she is my Guerra, which I christened her son. So we are families. We are family.
And I send their kids to university. Yes.
Perfect.
If I mess up,
And
what if you mess up?
I'm gonna mess up for sure.
No,
I'm gonna mess up.
It's just a shambles. Years, that's half my life. So you can now work out what my age is.
Hello and welcome back to our last episode of Mid-High 30 Years of Legacy. We're your hosts, John and Leticia, and we're thrilled to welcome our guests today and to have celebrate this amazing journey.
In this episode, we have not one, not two, but three special guests with us. Mr. T, Miss Joanna, and Miss Kura. Welcome.
Hi, welcome.
For sure. I mean, you guys have come into the school around the same time, and I'm sure have built a very strong bond with each other. Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Actually, you are very good friends. Yes, girl. And she is my Guerra, which I christened her son. So we are families. We are family.
And I send their kids to university. Yes.
Perfect. See, as I said, strong bond.
All over. Oh, sure. Even the last one's coming up now for you from Mrs. Pavlimbei.
And can you tell us a bit about what you did before you went into Mid-High?
Well, I worked as a biologist before I became a teacher. I was an aquatic marine and freshwater biologist, and I worked for a few years in different places. And then I had a family and decided I was ready to go to the next stage of my life. I was become a teacher.
It's interesting.
I was working as an accounting teacher in another private school for 2 years. And then I was proposed to come to Mid-High. A very good friend of mine was working here. She was offered the job at Nicosia, so he asked me whether I would like to join Mid-High family. I said yes, and here I am.
How come?
Well, I was teaching in the United States before coming to Mid-High, and when I came, it was winter time actually, and there were no any kind of teaching jobs around, so I was working in the construction site before coming to Med, because I knew that if I were to start anywhere in the business or accounting industry, it's not easy to lead once you start. So I knew that I wanted to teach, so I took a sort of a semester gap and I was working just for the money. And then when the position opened around spring 2004, I applied, I was interviewed, and then so that's my real first employer. Mid-High has been my real first employer in teaching me for 20 years.
You guys have been in the school for a while now. I'm sure you're
Dinosaurs. So Miss Pavlimbei is 25. I'm 24 and you're
22. Yeah, so pretty close to each other. I mean, has your teaching changed over the years? The way you teach students must have changed. I mean,
I think, what do you think? I think the resources we use are different. So obviously when I first came here, we were still using, I don't know if you remember, the blackboard outdoor. And that really shows my age. And so now everything's obviously, we use interactive boards. Our students want more visual stimulation. So I think more in that way of change. Tell me about you guys.
Students have changed in all these years, so you have to find ways to get them engaged. Personally, I use more interactive tasks, problem solving tasks, critical thinking, latest trends to get them engaged, to get them interested. Because now they have changed and they are actually more demanding, actually. Yes.
Yeah, I remember the black and white textbooks. You have never seen black and white textbooks, trust me. No pictures, no color, very boring, dull textbooks. So that was 20 years or even before that. Now all your textbooks are more interactive. Some of you don't even have textbooks because everything is online on Google Classroom. Nothing like that back in the day, guys. More case studies. We use a lot more case studies to teach now. Before it was boring theory. Now with case studies, students understand they critically understand better the material. So methodology-wise, we try to use examples and demonstrations from the real world in business and accounting. Nice. I agree with the rest about technology developments and improvements. It's in far from what we used to do 25 years ago, guys.
And have any of these challenges that you faced over the years, because obviously you went from, like you said, the chalkboard to internet. How has these challenges, like, how did you deal with them? Or
I mean, for me, if I think about the challenges that I've had over the years, I don't think it was the challenge of changing these teaching methodologies. My biggest challenge was the whole COVID period for me. If I think back, that's probably the worst time. Even though, we had laptops, we were working online, it was a very difficult time for me in teaching online. And even when we came back to school, just teaching students with masks on and not being able to see their faces and their expressions, I found that my biggest challenge in my whole teaching career. I mean, I don't know, you guys?
The challenge I face every year is the diverse student needs. You have to accommodate for each group of students. Every year you have different groups, so you have to have different classroom management techniques in terms of academics, but at the same time on a personal level to get everyone engaged, to enjoy the lesson.
Yeah, we're a truly international school, as you know, guys. And when you are dealing with international students from different backgrounds, you have to be both careful. You have to respect everything and everyone in many different dimensions as a teacher, as an educator. We've got a lot of students with different kind of needs, learning needs as well, the AMBCs and everything. I mean, it's a challenge when you're dealing with this diverse background. A lot of other schools don't face that. They have unique culture, solo culture, where those students, and they go one way. Usually they walk into one class, they walk into another class, and it's the same thing for them. Med High is not like that. The age group is different. We're a 6-year school. We teach at a younger age, GCSEs and A-levels compared to some other schools. All of those have been challenges to deal with compared to other institutions.
But just to add something to what Mr. Mihalis has said, the real world outside is very diverse. And our kids are best prepared for the real world because they do come to this school with different religious backgrounds, ethnicity, social background, academic, and our kids are more prepared for the real world than going like Mihaly said, to how did you call it, a uniculture type school? Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of memories you have in this school, but what is your favorite part about your job in Med High?
Okay, personally, I don't have only one favorite.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yes, so many years, so many students, colleagues. Basically, I personally have different moments every year to remember, bad, patchy moments, angry moments. But every year is different. What stays every year, though, is that basically every year we make new friends, either in terms of students or colleagues.
I agree there. It's like the best thing about my whole journey at Med High is the amazing friends that we've made over the years. Some have stayed, some have left, but we're still in contact. And we throw this cliche around that we're a family all the time, but it's so true. And one thing nearly every teacher says that's left Med High is that they've never found that atmosphere, the working atmosphere that we have at this school. So I feel really blessed actually that I've had that, I've been able to experience that at Med High.
Definitely, it's a full plate, guys, of memories. If you've been into an organization for so many years, everything builds up. And we're trying to remember the positive ones, the happy ones, the funny ones. There are moments all over the place, failures, disappointment, arguments. It's everywhere. But at Med High, the number one, I believe, non-financial incentive for a lot of people to work here is this atmosphere explained by in this school. We're all friends, we're all helping each other, supporting each other. We're trying to have a great work environment within the staff room and outside the staff room. We get sometimes a bit more personal with our students compared to anywhere else you will see. Trust me, that bond that we used to have, it helps students to engage, to trust us, to have confidence. Trust me, you will not find that too often in many other schools out there, especially now that you're all going to universities now. one thing that I'm trying to teach everyone is that uni will be very distant to you compared to the relationships you have as students with your teachers. It gets a bit too formal, too official when you're growing up in that way. But even at your age, some other high schools still behave like that. They, keep that distance, and it's okay. We're not friends. We're just teaching and stuff like that. But we don't have that yet at Med High. Actually, it's the other way around.
To be honest, I think it worries me that with our students when they leave here, because they're so used to us looking after each other and being able to walk up to your teacher and ask for help. And then I think it's always a bit of a shock when you go into the real world afterwards. And it is something that I think about a lot.
Yeah, it's something that also scares me. Like thinking about it, like when I go somewhere nobody knows me, no one's gonna be like
Used to it's a big change. It's just a change. It's that big shock. And as Mihaly said, it's a bigger change than if you were at any other school.
yeah.
It's because we're a small, very intimate school, as you know. And then suddenly, go to a massive university where just the number is a big change.
And you still, students from many years ago. You still have relations with them.
We do, and it gives us great joy when they either come to say hello to us. And I was actually speaking to Anastasia outside, and I said, in my mind, I might have mixed up a couple of what years they were in, but I remember all of my students, at least from if I don't remember their names, I'll get but at least from their faces, as soon as I see them, I remember everything. Yes, and it gives me great pleasure when they come and tell me what they've been up to. Yeah.
Well, talking about moments, what is your favorite moment you experienced here at Med High, or like event that you look forward to every year, or something funny?
Of course. Actually, yes, 6 students and myself, we look up for that day since September. We plan ahead for it and all, but yeah, it's a great event because it's that bonding thing that we mentioned before. It is one of the biggest fundraising events for you 6 students for the trip. It's having fun, it's enjoy day and everything, but there are so many, you cannot single out one. Graduation is very big for me and Mrs. Pavlimbei and Gula. We held the graduates up from the cap and gowns, the rehearsals, the night out, the whole thing. It's a big issue. You will see it in June and all, but I mean, it's so many. You cannot single out one.
And marathons have made, Miss Joanna and I we started the charity club like almost the second year I came with this. And it's developed and evolved over the years. We've just been involved in so many charities. And for me, the marathon, and especially when it became part of Harry's Day, and commemorate not only Harry, but sadly other people we've lost along the way. So it was a very emotional time. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite moments?
Graduation. So what holidays? Usually, yes, graduation, because everyone is very proud, everyone is very happy. Anyway, immersed.
And you see the students that you taught for so long ago.
Yes. Heart is.
I'm sure that you've learned a lot of things while teaching in Med High. What has it taught you as an educator and as a person as well?
For me, personal development, tolerance and patience, a lot of personal subjects, and yeah.
I have tons to say there. I remember my first days teaching at Med. I was just the strictest teacher, or I was always getting the awards for being the strictest teacher. Going around, you didn't do your homework, why, discipline, this and that. And over the years, I have changed personality ways a lot. And a lot of my colleagues and students have to say that. But it was unbelievable. How you start, you're young, you want to make your mark, and you want to be taken in a good way, be disciplined, and having to change around. When you work with kids, there is a different touch for everyone. And I developed 2 anger management, habits. I soften up a lot of long ways in order to be able to become a better educator, because you have your own character and personality when you start the job. You need to understand that you have to adapt. It's like a chameleon being an educator. How you treat different kind of situations. So on that personality thing, I have seen changes. Now, developing as an educator or as any professional, guys, is up to you engaging into your job, doing your research, doing your thing, having to do. So that's skills, but personality-wise, the changes are great.
I'm not sure to have to deal with teenagers. Yeah, again, it's a very sensitive group of people.
True. Going through puberty, yeah. Yeah. Well, you've been here for almost 30 years. What are your almost? Let's imagine. What are your hopes and wishes for the next 30 years?
New school.
He's ready.
Use case that everyone's waiting for. Lots of facilities.
Yeah, but because we have been here for so long on these premises and on these facilities, not everybody can understand and appreciate this desire to go to a much bigger and much more modern school with modern facilities and all of that. So since we're talking long-term wise, in the next 30 years, we're all going to be grandparents, hopefully. Everything settled. So it's a very big long-term for our life. Before those 30 years, we want to be in a new school and being able to keep on educating students like you in that setting as well. That's where I see.
I mean, what would be the ideal situation is have this amazing building, but still keep that intimacy and that family feel of the school. And I know it's totally biased, but I think if we manage that, we'll be the best school in Cyprus. For sure.
And I think we will always miss.
Yeah, it's actually, time here.
The roads.
I mean, there's a lot of memories here.
I think there'll be a lot of tears when we actually leave this premises.
To be like a whole ceremony for sure.
Celebrate the building.
A new era, actually.
It will be.
And it's going to be totally different ball game when that happens, trust me. In a lot of different dimensions, operational-wise, marketing, education. When you have something new, something big, then you are developing. You show that you are there, you are established, and you are moving forward.
Is there a piece of advice you would give to new teachers joining the school?
They need to love teach,
Yes.
not just out.
They have to love what they are doing actually. To set realistic goals.
Be themselves as well, not to try to pretend to be a teacher that they think is what the perfect teacher is. To be themselves, obviously set their boundaries, but be themselves and not to be harsh on themselves. Trying new things. If they don't work, don't use it again. It's. I think my definition of a good teacher is an evolving teacher who's willing to change with the times and try new things. And if you love teaching and love children, it's the best job in the world.
Anything else you would like to say? Any funny moments you would like to share, maybe?
Funny moments. I was thinking about a memorable moment because, there's so many memories. But I remembered recently, about 11 years, and I don't know if you remember, but it snowed. And I flew up on edge. It was such a unique experience because a lot of our students never seen snow, and it was the last period of the day. And slowly, everyone let their classrooms out. And just the innocence of seeing kids from 5 to 18 years old just playing in the snow, and was just amazing. And that's one of the magical moments I'll always remember. But there's a lot more than that. That whole school was out just like watching the snow fall.
Oh, yeah. I wish that would happen now. So we're so waiting up. Well, all right. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you for our listeners. See you next. There is no next episode.
This is our last one. Thank you for tuning in.
One of the last ones to talk.
Yeah.
The best till last.
We ended off nicely, I feel like. A beautiful stories.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you so much. Bye.